What's up, everyone? This is an Instagram Live, and, well, you knew that already, but I am bringing in a guest, Ted Achawasko, who's one of the most fascinating guys who's been on Bulletproof Radio, and a good friend and founder of a company called Truscriptions. If you've seen that picture of me with a dark blue tongue, it was his fault. So Dr. Ted's going to request to come in a minute here. And thank you, Marlon, for requesting me my live video. But it's not, you're not coming in because Dr. Ted's going to come in. In the meantime, tell me where you're from. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Marla. There's Eric. Jules joined. Ahmed and FIFA joined. So tell me where you're from. And it usually takes about 30 seconds for people to join. And just when you come in, Ted, just make a request to join. As soon as I see you, I'm going to bring you in. And what we're going to talk about, amongst other things, is what you can do with something called methylene blue. It's something that's been in a couple of my books, and it's been very hard to get this weird compound. And some people will call it aquarium cleaner, which is kind of funny. And I'm wondering if I actually have my last one of these. I have a new order coming in. Probably have it in front of me. I should be dyeing my tongue blue right now for you. There he is. I see him coming in. And what this stuff does is it changes your mitochondria. And we're going to hear from this brilliant biochemist, Dr. Shaman, Wizard. I'm not sure exactly what to call Ted. He's all of the above and more. Just a fascinating human being. So you guys are going to get to ask questions. And the reason we're doing this is the Biohacking Conference is coming up on Saturday. This is the biggest biohacking event I have ever done. We have world-class, amazing speakers for you, and including Dr. Ted. And if you don't know about this and you're not signed up and you follow me, it's probably because you haven't had Instagram turned on in a little while. And all you got to do is go to biohackingconference.com. And when you do that, you can sign up, and we are getting very near capacity for the event. It is going to be, I think, the best biohacking conference I've done, which says a lot because we've done 7 live events, and just the quality of guests. I couldn't make these people fly in to LA for you guys no matter what I did, but because of COVID, I'll be grateful for this. It's always nice to find one little thing you're grateful for. You can do this. And Ted, I have no idea why you declined my invitation, but that might have just closed our Instagram Live. So guys, I'm going to see if I can make that work one more time. Manish, teach me to be you. No way, man. You don't want to be me. You want to be you, because everyone has their own reason they're here. They have their own, I'm going to call it superpowers, strengths, and weaknesses. And I can tell you, you don't want my weaknesses, man. Go with your own strengths. It's way better. Oh, here's someone from Iran. That's awesome. Soham, love you right back. Joseph, you just got the package. We just sold out of VIP boxes for this event, but I've got another thing I can send for people who sign up now. Jason's going to be there. South Florida from Tony. Joseph is here. Marlon, I said your name twice. Look at that. Will there be a playback option? You can attend on Saturday? Yes. If you sign up, you can get the playback option when you sign up, and then you can watch it all year long. What's probably most important, though, is you get access to the private Facebook group. And this is where there's going to be our community. And for the first time, it's going to be really more international, because the conference, we always have people fly in from around the world. We've had people from UAE, from Indonesia, from Brazil and Argentina and Mexico come to the conference in person. But it's really hard to fly halfway around the world to come to a conference for 3 or 4 days. So now we're all going to be here in a group, and it's a private group only for people at the conference, which is really, really cool. So hey, Joni, Jim Quick, I can't wait for the new book. Hey, do you guys want something like really cool? You're gonna be the first people on earth outside of my publisher to see what the book looks like. I literally just finished scissoring the cover for the book. Yeah, give me some hearts here if you want to do that. You ready? You ready? No hearts? What's going on? You're supposed to like thumbs up or something. What's going on with you guys? This is what it's gonna look like. We printed the cover in reverse so you couldn't see it, but this is the new book, even though I don't know how to make it. There, is that better? No. So it's called Fast This Way. If you go to fastthisway.com, you can pre-order. And if you're going to buy the book anyway and you buy it now, it helps my publisher enormously, and I always appreciate it. So you guys are literally the first on earth to see that. And I will tell you what's inside there is not what you think it is, because that's my last book. This is just the cover they sent me. And if only you could read this, this is what the back of the book looks like, because it's not filled out yet. It says, here's a quote, famous person. So this is what it's like to be an author. Transcriptions. Let's see if I can go live with you now. Is it going to work? This time you got to accept it. I'm asking them again. Come on, Ted, you can do it. Oh, MCVET, you've been following since the modafinil days. The very early start of Bulletproof, I was on ABC Nightline. They sent a crew to my house. And it was actually Dan, who was one of their reporters, who's now the head of 10% Happier. So he actually left the investigative reporter lifestyle. We actually meditated in my backyard, and my little dog, my little dachshund, walked up and sat on our feet and we were meditating. It was the coolest thing ever. And he hadn't really been a meditator before that. It was pretty neat. All right, I don't know what's going on. I've twice invited Transcriptions to come on. There's some Argentina, Santa Barbara. There's VM Photography is coming to the conference. Playback is the only option for VIP, which is sold out. I'm sorry the VIPs are sold out. What we did is we recreated the entire hotel where we hold the conference in a virtual world, and the platform can only have some number of people based on scalability and all. So there's something going on there. I just got a notification that Transcriptions, the first one was declined, second time is unable to join. So this is Instagram's issue. What I am going to suggest you do is you look in the thread here, look at Transcriptions, TRO, and I'm going to tell you about methylene blue and what it does, because it is really remarkable. About 20 years ago, the first studies came out that studied this weird dye that's used to sterilize, are you ready for this? To sterilize aquariums. Has some weird biochemical applications. Because at the same time they would sterilize aquariums, they take medical grade, and during many surgeries, they would use it to let you see what was going on in the surgery, because it dyes your tissues. And it's this vibrant blue dye, like this color of blue. And people said, well, wait, there's something else going on biologically. What is it? And it turns out that your cells make energy. They make electrons via the mitochondria, via ATP, the Krebs cycle. And then they need to be able to move the electrons around. And you've heard me talk about NAD on the show lots of times, which is something that increases the ability to move electrons around once they're created. It's called electron chain transport, or ECT, and some people call it ETC, electron train transport, but it's more like a network than a train. So what ends up happening there when you add methylene blue is you can more effectively move these things around. So you take one of the Transcriptions, little lozenges, and brother, I did send these out in my quarterly box. You go to Dave Asprey box, you can see like every quarter for years and years, I find all the cool stuff and I send it out to a core of a few thousand people who just like biohacking and save a ton of money. Every year. The box is usually worth like $300, quite often 4 or 5, and it costs $100. So you can get a deal, everyone gets a deal, but we put these in the last one. And so I'm recording this video, and I took one before it because I like my brain, like, boom, wakes you up. So I'm talking, but I have like Smurf tongue. And I should have taken one right now, but I don't know where I've set my thing of them. My cleaners were just here prepping for the conference, and they moved them around. So what I want you guys to do, if you've never tried one from the box, look at the Transcriptions website, follow Transcriptions on here. And I will tell you, listen to the podcast with Dr. Ted Achawasko. And what you're going to find is like there are people out there who have been working for a very long time on making brains and bodies work way better than they're supposed to. And this stuff is legit. The problem has always been dosing, because we didn't know how much to do and we didn't know how to get it in. So this is like a little thing you put under your tongue and it just melts in. And yes, you look like you kissed a Smurf for a couple hours, but it's totally worth it. And you guys totally, Transcriptions, you need to check that stuff out. Now, here's a question from Rob Coyer. How did you heal from mold illness and brain fog? Top tips. Thanks for talking openly about mold. All right, I'm gonna give you guys the quick mold 101. Number 1, get the hell out of the place that's moldy. I mean it. You cannot heal from mold in mold. It just does not work. And you can use Homebiotic. This is a company I started. It's a probiotic you spray around your house. It is meant to be affordable for everyone. It's $29 in order to get something. It's a bacteria that eats mold. So that's a really good like miniature step. So get out of the environment. And then to turn your energy back on, you want to use ozone therapy, again, intravenous or rectal, or now there's even some oral stuff. Listen to the podcast, the most recent one with Ian Mitchell. I think it should have just come out, where we talk about an oral form of ozone. And that's going to help a lot. And honestly, I started using methylene blue back 15 years ago when I was experiencing this brain fog. And quite often, by enhancing your body's ability to move electrons around, you can feel a difference from that as well. So for me, it's bind the toxins and get them out. That's a function of charcoal and clay and some prescription things like that. Use ozone to regenerate your mitochondria to make the ones who can't handle it get out, and as a signal to get stronger. And then look at moving the electrons around better, and methylene blue can be an important part of that. Ning, hi from Mountain View. I used to go to Red Rock Coffee all the time. In fact, I sat at Red Rock Coffee on the main street there, whose name is weird. I'm forgetting it right now. And I had a little Bunsen burner, portable, and I was heating coffee and blending butter in it at one of the tables at Red Rock. They're downtown in Mountain View. I heard those guys are closing down, which is really sad. But anyway, I like Mountain View. It's a great place. And where are the glasses? That's a good question, Becker. They're right here, but I'm at home. I've got halogen, natural light. But if I had none of those things, I'd be wearing my true dark glasses. And I wore these all day long because this morning I was at a hotel talking to a group of large entrepreneurs about how they can be better people. So if you guys don't know about the glasses, truedark.com. Those things really affect, even with molds, if you get light sensitivity, massive difference. Other questions here. Remember, Transcriptions is awesome, and biohackingconference.com. If you love this kind of thing, like, hey, this was a great 10 minutes, 15 minutes to spend with Dave, I'm telling you, the Biohacking Conference is so stacked. We've got Maria Shriver, Mark Hyman, Jay Shetty, and the theme is resilience, how to handle things or how to be more resilient when the fit hits the shan. And the whole point of that is that there's a whole set of energy that's in your body that allows you to be more resilient. Some of it's mindset. There's actually a new meditation we're going to be sharing with you. Some of it is biological. And there's this huge set of practices that go beyond what I've personally discovered because I curate. I find the best people in the world, and I'm pretty good at that now. I have access to so many because of the show. I'm grateful for that. And then I have them teach me and teach us at the same time. And the conference is really, really awesome. I'm super, super excited. There we go. Dennis is like, I'm on Social Security, but your knowledge has changed my energy. Dennis, that's the biggest compliment ever. It's all about your energy. Like when we have more energy, we're nice to other people. When we're low on energy, we can't control our emotions and we're likely to get mad at other people. Certainly we'll yell at our kids if we're low on energy. It's not because you're a bad person, it's because you didn't have the energy to be you. And that's what really biohacking gives you. And that's why I'm so excited about it. There's Jim. If you guys don't know Jim Quick, his stuff is awesome. He's a memory trainer, memory coach, just had a New York Times bestseller. Great guy. Kelly Rose, when's your box coming? It's in the mail right now. Usan, love you right back. All right. There's some Canadian things from Living Life. I'm up here in Canada. Sandra, oh my God, it's Mercury retrograde. You know what I have to say to that? Mercury, I've got your number. And you're not allowed to mess with us because we have the team. So I think we can handle it. Thankfully, will NAD help mold toxicity symptoms? That is a complex question. You need to see a functional medicine doctor who does NAD. And the short answer is that if you're a good methylator, probably. If not, you might need methyl donors with it for it to work really well. And there's no reason you can't stack that with methylene blue, the little troches from Truscriptions. So I don't know why Instagram wouldn't let this happen, but it doesn't really matter because you know where to go to get that stuff. It is really, really good. They're one of the conference sponsors. Usan, you're buying one tonight. Awesome. Jody says, hey, cousin. Transcriptions. I don't know why we got an issue here. Brian, you might want to get on the box deal. Definitely give it a look. Cade, can you interview them or you for your summit? Transcriptions, reach out. Just hit them in the DM right now. You guys should follow Transcriptions. TRO Scriptions. They're here in the posts. You want some really serious knowledge bombs? There's very few people who are high-end biochemist focused doctors who also are like, yeah, I'm all about the energy medicine. I think when I interviewed Dr. Ted, he had a unicorn behind him. I'm like, why is there a unicorn behind him? He's like, unicorns are real. I'm like, wait a minute. Did you just say that and talk about high-end particle physics? Yeah, you did. So I love those guys. Jason takes Transcriptions as a pre-workout. Yeah, that's a really good use for it. Let's see. After surgery from Positive Life Always for healing and recuperation fast. Red light therapy is amazing. I'm a huge fan of True Light, shoptruelight.com. And that's a company that I helped to found. We've got some pulsing lights and some amber. That the amber color is shown in studies to affect small blood vessels in a way that red and infrared don't. It's a really good one. Juve is another good one if you've got that. And there are a variety of things like L-glutamine that can work, and collagen is really good. Just so you have the tissues for that. Anytime any of you are injured in any way, you want to do that. Maria has homebiotics. Sweet. Rabbi, it's either Rabin Hall or Rabbi Nihal. I can't ever tell on Instagram. Working on getting rid of mold. Definitely get it out of your house and clean up all your stuff. It's a big deal. You guys are like, Dave, what are you talking about mold? It doesn't bother me. Guys, 100 million structures in the US alone have it. It's a global issue, and it's linked to diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and Alzheimer's disease. If you read my last book, those are the big 4 killers. If you're an average person, trust me, you're following me on Instagram, you're not average for real. You have access to more knowledge than average. But what's going on there is you really, really want to be able to learn how to take care of yourself so you don't get those 4 killers. And methylene blue is a part of that. And just taking care of yourself in general is a part of that. But that's why getting rid of mold is such a big deal, because it gives you all 4 of the things that kill you. Jessica, are parasites the root cause for sickness like mold? No. Parasites are a problem way bigger than you'd ever imagine. You guys want to like be blown away. It's nuts. The amount of, or the number of animal species who are controlled entirely by parasites is horrifying and shocking. And I believe the name of this book you want to read is called Your Brain on Parasites. I'm just finding out. Where is it? It's called This Is Your Brain on Parasites: How Tiny Creatures Manipulate Our Behavior and Shape Society. No joke. And they go through things like, the fish, when you see a fish on top of the water, like swimming around, and a bird comes down to get it, 90% of the fish that get eaten have parasites that make them swim to the surface and get eaten, so that the bird will get the parasite and then poop the parasite out on the shore, where the snails will eat it, and the cycle will continue. But they made the fish do that. And there's even examples in humans and in rats, where the rats that get caught by the cats, it's because they had a parasite that made them go do that. So our behavior is changed by our gut microbiome and our parasites. It's real, but they don't cause mold. So you're gonna be blown away. That's super, super cool. All right. Ted can't connect. I can try one more time. Scott Scher, who's another friend. I've tried several times to get transcriptions in. I'm gonna try one more time. Go live. I think it's gonna work. Instagram has its own demons. Try it again. If not, guys, you're gonna have to just check out transcriptions independently. Sandra, have my thoughts changed on e-cigs as a nicotine boost? Hey, wait, did it work after like 5 requests? Is Dr. Ted actually with us?
No, it's Dr. Scott.
Hey, Scott. Oh, I thought Ted was coming in. Are you coming in, Scott?
So I'm coming in because he can't connect for whatever reason. So
okay, you're coming in for him. Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you all right. Sweet.
Yeah. So I'm coming from my car in a parking lot trying to help out. So.
All right. Well, we have definitely chatted about oxygen therapy, tons. You've had oxygen therapy clinic up there. So guys, let's talk about methylene blue. I wanted to be an expert. Now we've got an expert, and you learned all sorts of cool stuff about mold and all these other things. So give me the lowdown on what Transcriptions is doing with methylene blue.
Yeah, sure, Dave. Methylene blue, as you know, has been around a long time. It was actually the first drug that was FDA approved in like the late 1890s. And it used to be a dye. It came from textile manufacturing. And they found out it actually killed malaria bugs. And so they started using it for malaria in really high doses. And so people didn't like the side effect. As you know, Dave, it not only turns your tongue blue if you take it orally, but also can turn your piss blue and also your crap as well if you have a huge dose of it. So I've
never had a blue crap. That sounds a little bit over the top and not that pleasant.
No, I don't recommend it.
Unrelated, but this is a longevity tip for all of you guys. I had to explain to my kids last night what the Darwin Awards were. And if you don't know, just Google it. And last year, or the year before, some of the Darwin Awards were guys who peed off a bridge on a high tension line. So there's problems if your pee is blue and you pee on a high tension line. Don't do that. Methylene blue isn't that powerful. All right. Here's your PSA for the day, Scott.
That's beautiful. Actually, on our website, I talk about fish tank cleaner and not drinking it because it has methylene blue, and potentially winning a Darwin Award as a result of that. Because as you know, and as I know, it's very difficult to find a good pure source that's pharmaceutical grade of methylene blue. And when I joined TED in this venture a couple of years ago, that was one of our biggest issues, was finding a good pharmaceutical grade source of methylene blue that was going to be consistent. Yeah. And so anyway, so what I was mentioning, it was used as an antibiotic and antiviral, as an antiparasitic. And then when antibiotics came around and all the drugs that kind of came out of favor. But then it started being used as an antipsychotic because it has MAOI properties as well. And then it was at that time they realized it had like 8 different mechanisms of action that improved oxygen, that improved energy production at the cellular level. And so it was with cytochrome oxidase, acting like oxygen at the cellular level, accepting electrons, making hemoglobin a better conformation so it dumped off more oxygen in tissue, and a number of other things as well. But it's a fantastic mitochondrial stimulator, optimizer, those kinds of things.
It's funny. It's an antipsychotic. You know what else is an antipsychotic?
What's that?
Mitochondrial function. Anytime
Indeed.
you increase the brain's ability to make energy, your ability to self-regulate improves. And it's crazy. But that's it. Like ozone, there you go, more mitochondria. You take any of the compounds that I use in my formulations, that you use in the stuff that Dr. Ted uses, and that there are papers on, with things like acetyl-L-carnitine, all of them measurably reduce the incidence of all the weird brain stuff. You could still have a tumor pushing on you. It's still going to happen, but your symptoms will be less because your self-regulation goes up. You guys hear this overall theme? More energy, you're a better person because you wanted to be a good person, but your brain didn't have energy to manage all of this and manage all that and this and all these distractions and junk light coming in and toxic mold and then news and social media and whoever the fuck is going to win for president, it doesn't even matter. You're going to be stressed about it. All of that, like you got to have enough energy to handle that. And that's where resilience comes from. That's why the Biohacking Conference is the theme is resilience this year. So like when you say, oh, this stuff increases this, and magically it's not just the MAO, which is an antidepressant effect, it's also mitochondrial. So
right, and that's also at high doses too. The methylene blue is only really at high doses an MAOI inhibitor. But we do say that if you're taking like a serotonergic drug, like an SSRI or one of the newer agent antidepressants, you got to be careful with methylene blue for sure, because it can have like a synergistic effect, which could be bad in some people. I mean, our supplement, I should say, our smart drug, whatever you want to call it, it is very low dose methylene blue. It's 5 milligrams in blue canatine and 16 milligrams in just blue, the one that's in your box. And you have, I think, very nicely, I think it was next to you, but you don't have it in your mouth, I don't think, because you don't look like a Smurf as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I don't have
I'm not Smurfing right now either.
Yeah. My cleaners moved my bag of them, and I'm like, no, because they were here on my desk, but then I disappeared.
We had tons of requests for the Just Blue from biohackers like you, Dave, that just wanted a pure source of pharmaceutical grade methylene blue. And we were kind of shocked about it, honestly, because like if you take Just Blue, if you take a methylene blue troche on its own, it gives you this sort of subtle energetic brightness, right? It's sort of like high definition, but it doesn't give you a kick in the pants. Am I back? Sorry.
You're right.
Yeah, so it doesn't give you a kick in the pants, right? But blue canatine, our other one, which has nicotine and caffeine in it, that gives you the kick and that launching kind of limitless mode.
Yeah, that stuff's going to wake you up in the morning.
It's going to wake you up. And I mean, it doesn't have a huge amount of coffee or caffeine, I should say. There's no coffee, just caffeine. So it's got 50 milligrams of caffeine. It's got 1 milligram of nicotine. So low dose on both fronts, but it gives you that kick along with the methylene blue that kind of gives you that sustainable sort of rise and continuous feel for like 3 to 4 hours. And then you have the CBD in the product too, which kind of mellows the whole rise up. So you don't get this initial hit that you sometimes get
with THC or without?
Without pure CBD isolate.
That's what they always say, but I think sometimes you just put it in there for fun. Is that what you guys do?
Oh, what, THC?
No, you don't.
We have other things.
Your stuff is all tested. You guys are super clean. I'm just messing with you.
No, all our testing is on our website, man. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten involved in this company. And Ted and I are both clinicians, right? We're both doctors. We see patients. We're actually prescribing these kinds of things to our patients, right? So we want to make sure that we're making things that are clean. Yeah.
Your stuff is super clean, and I'm really picky. You guys wouldn't believe the number of boxes of supplements that companies send me, hoping that I'll, like them or talk about them or things like that. And a lot of times I'm like, I can't even take this. Like, I'm going to give it to someone who needs it because, like, this isn't clean. Like, I don't know where this came from, and they can't tell me, or this ingredient it shouldn't be in there. Things like black pepper extract that poke holes in your gut. Like, why do I have holes in my gut so this stuff can get through? Because everything else gets through. So it's one of those things. The reason I'm like, so maybe 5% of the companies I see even have a chance of me going, okay, like this actually, there's legs to this. But methylene blue, no one has cracked the code on how to make that accessible, dosed properly, and pharmaceutical grade until Ted reached out and said you guys were working on this. So I'm like, all right, I want to bring this to the world of biohacking. Yeah,
we appreciate it. I mean, really excited to be, this is a biohacking product, right? Methylene blue is not going to be for everybody. But I mean, becoming a Smurf, I think should be more people, right? It should be not, what we often say is that blue is the new smart, man. So it shouldn't be like, why do you have a blue tongue? It's why don't you have a blue tongue? And that's the reason
There you
why you
go.
should be trying this.
If
Optimize your mitochondria. That's what we're about.
okay, let's see. Kitty Catch says, "Is there a code for your stuff? Do you
So
guys
if you
have
come
like
to
an
the
offering code?"
conference, yeah, if you come to the conference, we have a great code for you, actually. And so all you have to do
Okay.
is sign up, come to the conference, you get a code. And also, if there is a smaller discount code available if you join our Facebook group, which is called
Okay.
Blue Cannatine's Facebook users at this point. So there's a small
Gotcha.
code there, a larger code if you come to the conference and hang out with us on
And
Saturday.
guys, if you join the Biohacking Conference, biohackingconference.com, you get a full year in the private Facebook group, and you will save way more just on the discount codes at the conference, way more than the cost of getting in. It starts at like $49, I think, to get in. So it's a very good investment for a huge amount of information, knowledge, and community. And throughout the year, you can imagine I might be throwing a few more codes into the Facebook group. So it's going to be a good thing to do. And then see, Sinjastram, you must be a Swedish, that name. You said Dave's the healthy Mark Cuban.
There's a
No.
resemblance. I see it.
And then the body brain coach says, I'm a billionaire. No and no. But I am grateful to be a somewhat successful entrepreneur. I'm helping a lot of people and comfortable, but I'm very far from being a billionaire. And you know what? That's okay. Because I'm going to tell you guys a secret. I learned this when I was 26. When I was 26 years old, I made $6 million. I really did. This is at the company that held Google's first servers. When I was 28 years old, I lost $6 million. And when I had that $6 million, you know what I told another friend at the company who was in a similar situation? I said, I'll be happy when I have $10 million. And I can tell you right now, the difference in your quality of life between having $6 million and $10 million, it's zero. Because it's more money than you need. Your living expenses are there. You're safe, right? And if you had $20 million, what would happen? The only thing that changes is if you're into such things, maybe the size of your jet. Big deal. You can still get there, right? But what else changes is your ability to donate money to charity, right? Or to create a new company that's going to solve a problem that no company would ever solve, right? That's all you can do when you have $1 billion. When you need to buy a sports team. Oh wait, Mark Cuban did buy a sports team. What do you do with a sports team? Blah. I don't know. That's just not what I do.
Sounds fun.
I appreciate Mark Cuban greatly, and he's a different human being.
Oh,
Okay.
Dave, I should also mention that we have a contest going on to the end of the day for one VIP ticket and I think 6 general admission tickets for your conference. And so
how do people do that?
So all you have to do is go to the previous post on our page that says giveaway. It's pretty obvious.
On Instagram?
Yeah, on Instagram, yeah.
Guys,
and
there are no more VIP tickets at all. I mean, I have like a billionaire friend today texting me, and I'm like, I can't get you in, man. I'm so sorry. So, like, literally, it's not that I don't want there to be more. It's that the platform cannot handle it. You guys have something that is now precious because no one else can get it.
Yeah, we have one more. And so
okay, guys, do the contest on Truscriptions. Do that right now.
Yeah, you got to follow us on Transcriptions, and then you have to tag as many people as you can and get them to follow us too. And look, it's spreading the blue love, man. So everybody needs to go blue.
Spread the blue love. I love it. Vivi
the Blue Universe,
is asking,
going to blue yourself. Lots of good things we can talk about there.
All right, that's so cool. Vivi says, do we know when the upgrade labs at the Beverly Hilton will reopen? Not quite yet, but I'm really excited about it. And guys, the company, the Upgrade Labs company, man, we had a physical biohacking conference, things that are going to replace or augment gyms with recovery, and we have the Bulletproof Cafe. So restaurants, gyms, and events, all the COVID things together. And I've had to jump in a major way, actually coming back in as CEO for that company, reinvesting in the company just to keep it from going completely out of business. So I have saved them, and we are going to continue the movement and continue the conference and continue everything like that. But it was a very big act of energy from me and my entire team with my portfolio, just outside of my main Bulletproof stuff, in order to make sure Upgrade Labs and the cafe are going to be here to stay, as well as the conference. So you guys, I want this to happen. All right. And Sin, your favorite part of the podcast when I talk about losing money and making it back, I tell some stories on the podcast or even here on Instagram more than once, and you're like, Dave, shut the F up. I've heard this from you like 10 times, but here's the deal. Most people listening haven't heard it. So if I repeat myself, I apologize in advance, but I'm still going to do it so people know, why and where and how. And what you guys don't know with Scott here, mean, Scott's been up to my house, and we talked
Hmm.
very, very early days of Upgrade Labs. We ideated about it, thought about different possibilities. He advised me on getting my first hyperbaric and all that. So I was really happy to see that he and Ted teamed up. Just good people making good stuff. And guys,
Thanks, Dave.
I've got to run because
Yeah.
I have some people inside Bulletproof who are working on the conference. And Scott, thanks for hopping in for Dr. Ted.
Yeah,
You guys
hopefully
are
you
going to
guys can
post this
get
on the
on
page.
at some other time soon. And it's always a pleasure to see you. And I do remember that time sketching out the Bulletproof Lab, as it was called back then in
Yep.
2015, long time ago. But yeah, come on over to Transcriptions, everybody. Follow us. We'll get you some tickets, hopefully, if you win our contest. And we'll also be there at the conference giving you a nice discount for one of the transcriptions that we have, either blue cannatine or just blue. Lots of good stuff, all pharmaceutical grade, precision dosed, all that fun stuff that I care about. And I know a lot of you guys do too.
All right, biohackingconference.com, sign up, and you will save so much on all the discount codes you get that'll more than pay for it. And if you can still get a box for the conference, do that. And I'm very excited to see you guys there on Saturday, all day. I'll be emceeing. We've got great interviews lined up, and this community globally of biohackers happening right now. See you guys later.